Welcome back to Echo Mind Documentaries. If this is your first time here, subscribe, like, share, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Today's story is about the octopus, the mysterious sea creature with 3 hearts, blue blood, and intelligence that continues to shock the world. What if the most intelligent being on the planet is not a mammal, not a primate, and has been living in the dark at the bottom of the ocean for 500 million years? Meet the octopus. And nothing you think you know about intelligence is going to survive this conversation. It has 3 hearts, blue blood, no bones, no social structure, and a brain that runs through its arms. It can taste what it touches, see colors it is technically blind to, and solve puzzles no one taught it. Scientists are not exaggerating when they say this creature is the closest thing to alien intelligence we have ever found on Earth. For most of human history, we looked up when we wanted to find something greater than ourselves. We searched the stars, we mapped the heavens, we built telescopes and pointed them at the dark. But the most alien intelligence we will ever encounter is not waiting in deep space. It is already here. It has been here for 500 million years, and it lives beneath the surface of the ocean, moving through the dark with 8 arms and a mind we are only beginning to understand. The octopus does not belong to our branch of the evolutionary tree. The last common ancestor shared between a human and an octopus lived over 500 million years ago, long before complex brains existed in any recognizable form. What that means is this: intelligence did not evolve once. It evolved at least twice, separately, independently, on the same planet, in the same oceans, arriving at problem-solving, memory, creativity, and awareness through a completely different path. That is not a footnote in biology. That is one of the most profound discoveries in the history of science. An octopus has 9 brains, 1 central brain, and 1 in each of its 8 arms. Those arms are not simply extensions of the central nervous system. They think. Each arm can taste, touch, and make decisions independently of the head. When an octopus reaches into a crevice to feel for prey, the arm is processing sensory information and responding in real time without waiting for instructions from above. It is a distributed intelligence, a democracy of neurons. 2/3 of an octopus's neurons are not in its head at all. And then there's the skin. The octopus has no skeleton, no armor, no natural defense in terms of size or strength. What it has instead is the most sophisticated camouflage system ever produced by evolution. Thousands of specialized cells called chromatophores, iridophores, and papillae work together to replicate color, texture, pattern, and depth in fractions of a second. The animal can become a rock, a piece of coral, a shadow, a patch of sand. Here is the part that stops scientists cold. The octopus is colorblind. It cannot distinguish color through its eyes the way we do, and yet it perfectly matches colors in its environment. Researchers now believe it may be reading light through its skin directly, sensing wavelengths through photoreceptors distributed across its entire body. It may, in a sense, see with its skin. We don't have a word for that. It does not map to any human sense. In controlled laboratory studies, octopuses have solved multi-step puzzles, navigated mazes, opened child-proof containers, and remembered the solutions days and weeks later. They have been observed using tools, specifically collecting coconut shell halves and carrying them across the ocean floor for later use as portable shelters. That is not instinct. Instinct does not require carrying something you cannot use yet because you might need it later. That requires planning. That requires a mental image of a future that has not happened. Octopuses play. Researchers have documented them repeatedly releasing objects into a water current and catching them again with no food reward and no training, doing it over and over in what appears to be nothing more than enjoyment. They have distinct personalities. Some are bold and curious, some are shy and withdrawn, some are aggressive, some are gentle. They are not interchangeable. They are individuals. And they dream. In 2021, A researcher in Brazil observed an octopus sleeping, cycling through rapid and visible changes in skin color and texture, pulses of light and dark moving across its body in complex sequences, its arms twitching, its suckers contracting. The display lasted more than a minute. What the animal was experiencing, we cannot know, but the behavioral signature is consistent with what we call REM sleep in mammals, the phase associated with vivid dreaming. An octopus, alone in the dark, may be living an entire inner world we cannot access. The tragedy written into this animal's existence is one that scientists find deeply uncomfortable to sit with. The octopus lives on average between 1 and 2 years, some species less. They do not raise their young. A mother octopus guards her eggs for months without eating until she dies of starvation at the moment of their hatching. The offspring are born alone. They learn everything without anyone to teach them. Every solution they find, every behavior they develop, every piece of knowledge they accumulate disappears with them when they die. There is no inheritance, no culture, no one passes anything down. And yet, in that single short life, they become what they are. What the octopus forces us to confront is a question we are not fully prepared to answer. What is intelligence, and who gets to have it? We have long assumed that complexity of mind required certain conditions: social bonds, long childhoods, cultural transmission, warm blood, a backbone.
We assumed that the architecture of a brain had to look roughly like ours. The octopus dismantles every one of those assumptions. It is not intelligent despite being so different from us. It is intelligent in a way that is so different from us that we are still developing the tools to measure it properly. When researchers run standard cognitive tests designed for mammals and birds, octopuses sometimes fail, not because they cannot solve the problem, but because they solve it differently, approaching from an angle the test was not designed to capture. The test has limits. The octopus does not. There are species of octopus we have never seen alive. Most of the deep ocean where they thrive remains unmapped and unexplored. We have better maps of the surface of Mars than we do of the floor of the Pacific. There are forms of life down there, forms of intelligence perhaps, that have never been documented, never been named, never been observed by any human instrument. We are not alone in our capacity to experience this world. We never were. The octopus is not a curiosity. It is not a novelty. It is evidence that consciousness, awareness, and intelligence are not accidents of human evolution. They are outcomes that the universe, given enough time and enough pressure, tends to produce, on different branches, in different forms, with different architectures and different senses, and different ways of being present in the world. The ocean is full of minds we have not met yet, and one of them has been watching us all along.